Today I'm breaking down this MegaMan.EXE running pose, or I should say dashing, because that's more a little accurate to Mega Man. Not even Mega Man Battle Network, but every other Mega Man game, probably other than Mega Man Battle Network. I don't know about Mega Man Legends also or Mega Man Star Force, but every other Mega Man game, he's actually dashing when he's in that type of position. But when he does have a running mechanism in a Mega Man Battle Network where he just moves faster. But for the obviously the fan art or the official art, they'll show, or if you want to look at Mega Man NT Warrior, which is where more what this art would show. Yeah, they could show him in any type of position, but it looks like dashing, so that's more of a fun fact regarding the lore for people who know the series, right? Drawing Mega Man.EXE, who's the only Mega Man who doesn't dash, but draw him dashing, right? Today I'm breaking down this Mega Man.EXE running pose sketch, or dashing sketch, and explaining the full process behind making an action pose feel dynamic and believable. The main focus for this drawing was momentum. I didn't want the character standing stiff or static. I wanted it to feel like Mega Man.EXE was charging directly forward with speed and aggression. Or he's not just in the pose to do it. It looks like that's what he's actually doing. So what are things I can do to make it look like it's actually a dash forward? Because you could draw somebody's body in a position, but you maybe doesn't look like that's what they're not in position to do the thing that you want them to do. Right. So before adding any details with the line of action, this is one of the most important parts of any dynamic pose. The line of action controls the energy and the movement of the character. You know, there's also things people can add on that I've added on to prior sketches, like I've done, like for example, Dragon Ball Z sketches where like I had one where Goku and Vegeta was fighting and you could see like the lines from the wind, or like kind of like not an after image, but you see lines coming off of a hand that's just throwing a punch. That could show the direction it's moving in and the speed, and the fact that it's not static, it's being swiftly thrown in that direction without you having to even see the impact or the response that the other character is having. Those there's lines of action like that, but there's other things as well, obviously, right? For this sketch, I use a forward curving line to immediately create the motion. Once that was established, I started building the torso and hips around it. One important thing with running poses is body angle. If the torso is perfectly upright, the pose usually loses energy, unless that's how the character is structured, and maybe there's something else that would give that away, that that's what they're doing, or that's how they're supposed to appear, obviously. So I tilted the chest forward slightly to make the movement feel more intense. I was using a reference, by the way. But when I was drawing from the reference, I'm like, what are the things that are actually creating this type of vibe that I want the drawing to give off? Because if I just draw what I see, let's say what I'm drawing is not completely accurate to what I'm seeing in the reference, what are things I need to pay attention to so I can get the same effects that the reference is giving me, right? One important thing among running poses body. Okay. So I tilted the chest forward slightly to make movement feel more intense. After that, I started placing the legs. I exaggerated the stride to create a separation between the limbs. This helps avoid stiffness and gives the pose more athletic feeling. A lot of beginner action poses fail because the legs are too close together or mirrored too evenly. Real movement usually has asymmetry, so pushing the pose helps it feel more alive. Obviously, like closer leg could be a bit bigger based on the perspective. Back leg should have been smaller. I actually made that mistake. The back thigh, I drew the top end of the back thigh, and I say top end, the side that's nearest to his glute, I drew that a little bit too high, so it made his back thigh look a little bit thicker, where that should have been a little bit more skinny because I was like further away and even extending farther away. And also the entire rest of the boot wasn't on the, but I drew that a little bit bigger than I should have as well. Let me see. I also kept the facial expression focused and intense to match the movement of the pose. Expression matters a lot because it reinforces the energy of the drawing. For line work, I tried to keep confident strokes instead of over scratching every detail. Cleaner lines help dynamic art feel more controlled and professional. One of the best ways to improve anime action poses is practicing movement repeatedly from different angles. Running poses, jumping poses, and attack poses all teach you how the body flows during motion. You can also start learning how clothing, armor, and hair react to movement, which adds even more energy to the drawing, obviously. Um, Overall, the sketch was mainly about pushing movement, clarity, and pose flow while keeping MegaMan.EXE recognizable and powerful. Yeah, so like basically, like I was saying, trying to keep, well, I didn't mention this yet, but while I can portray the action that I want him to do without even using, like, the lines showing what direction he's going in, and the fact that he's moving so quick, there's maybe not an after image, but it's like wind coming off his limbs, or if a limb is moving too fast, how can I portray all that and still keep, everything that makes that character who it is?